Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Gamecock Central podcast. Emerson Phillips with Gamecock great Joe Rhett. Big ball game coming up Tuesday night at the Colonial Life Arena for South Carolina. The Ole Miss Rebels coming to town for a 7 o'clock tip-off on the SEC Network. But this is not a game you want to watch on TV. Big stakes Tuesday night for Gamecocks and Rebels. You want to be present at the CLA to support the Gamecocks. Joe, looks like there's a good chance that the winner of the game Tuesday night will finish in the top 4 in the SEC standings at the end of the regular season, and obviously we'll still have 5 games left after this Ole Miss game on Tuesday night, but again, a good chance that the winner of this game is going to finish in the top 4. Both the Gamecocks and the Rebels tied at 8-4 in the conference, trailing Tennessee, LSU, and Kentucky right now in the conference standings. So top 4 in the league, Joe, get a 2-day bye at the SEC tournament and won't have to play until Friday at the conference tournament. That means you got to win 3 games to win the conference tournament. So no getting around it, Joe. Big game Tuesday night with Ole Miss.
Huge game against Ole Miss. Coming off a good win yesterday against Texas A&M. I feel that this team can come in. I think Ole Miss is projected to win, but I think we playing at home, we will have a tremendous chance. Like you said, both teams are 8-4 right now. 2 teams right now that I guess at the beginning of the season we're not projected to do as well. These are 2 surprising teams right now in the SEC at 8-4 in conference play, and both teams can control their own destiny. And when you look down the road for NCAA or SEC tournament, we can control this by winning this one game and have a 1-game lead against them, so we can, like you said, have that bye when it comes to the SEC tournament, because it's so difficult for teams to play 5 or 6 games to get to the SEC championship. I think in the history of only a few teams, I think it has been done, but it's very difficult for the team to play all week and try to win the SEC tournament. So if we can get a 2-day bye, that'll be tremendous for this team to get a couple more wins to solidify our chance of getting to the NCAA.
More on Carolina Ole Miss in just a moment. Joe, let's talk about this Carolina victory over Texas A&M Saturday at the CLA. The Gamecocks a little bit slow out the gate, sluggish in the first half, trailed by 7 at halftime, and then Texas A&M hit a 3 to open the second half to go up 10, but Trey Campbell answered with a 3 on the other end to start a 29-15 South Carolina run. The Gamecocks tied a program record, Joe, with 16 threes in the ball game. Carolina scored 49 in the second half, and they rallied at home yet again for an 84-77 win over the Aggies.
A very slow start. I was somewhat concerned that we started off pretty slow, but, I was hoping that at some point as we was getting before halftime, that we can cut that lead to at least 5 or 6. And they did, and then they came out in the second half, and they played resilient as they has been all year. You have 4 guys in double figures, Silver doing his thing, A.J. Lawson, who's stepping up really, really well as a freshman. He hit some big threes. I think he was 6 out of 7 from 3.
Yep.
Trey Campbell shot the ball extremely well. Hassani Gravett shot it well.
Yep.
And this team, I believe, with 33s in 2 games. I think 16 yesterday and 14 against Tennessee. So that is awesome that this team is shooting the ball extremely well, which helps Chris Silver inside.
Yeah.
He's been playing much better because they're making threes, so they won't be able to double team them. So if we can continue to play like this team can go as far as they want to go.
Yeah, the Gamecocks hit 14 threes in the loss to Tennessee on Wednesday night, came back with 16 threes in this win over Texas A&M, 23 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals for the outstanding freshman A.J. Lawson, 6 of 7 from downtown, like Joe told you. 22 and 14, 22 points, 14 boards for Chris Silva. Another great game off the bench for Hassani Gravett, 18 points, including 4 of 7 from downtown. And Joe, you mentioned Trey Campbell, 13 points on 3 of 8 from 3, and Campbell starting to play better. Looks like he's getting more comfortable with his role on this Gamecock team, and that's certainly helping South Carolina. It's opening up some shots for A.J. Lawson and helping out Chris Silva on the inside as well.
Absolutely. I'm somewhat surprised that it's taken him this long because he had experience at Georgetown coming in with some experience, but what better time to start playing well because he's taking the ball out of A.J. Lawson's hands somewhat because he's playing a lot more minutes now. So those 2 guys are playing really, really well together. So hopefully they can continue that success. And also, as we mentioned, with them shooting the ball as well, allows Chris Silver to have more one-on-one space inside where he can dominate and be the force that he has been so far this year in the SEC.
So Ole Miss coming to town Tuesday night, 7 o'clock start. Ole Miss is 18-7. They're 8-4 in the league. Carolina 13-12 overall, 8-4 in the conference. And Ole Miss has won 4 straight ball games. Joe, they've beaten A&M. They won at Georgia, at Auburn, and most recently over Missouri. Home game for the Rebels this past Saturday. Ole Miss beat Mizzou 75-65 in a balanced scoring attack for the Rebels. Bruce Stevens led them in scoring for the first time this year, 17 points off the bench for Ole Miss. Breon Tyree has been the real main factor this year for the Rebels, 14 points for him, and that snapped a streak of 6 straight games over 20 points for the guard, Breon Tyree. Buffin had 14 for Ole Miss, and Columbia native Irmo High School product Devontae Schuler with 12 points. So, Joe, Ole Miss winning with defense and balanced offensive scoring, Joe. These last 4 opponents, they've held to about 65.5 points per game during this 4-game win streak. That's very solid in today's game.
Very solid, and you're talking about both these teams are 8-4. 2 teams that preseason was not picked to do as well, and these 2 teams, meaning Ole Miss and South Carolina, are 2 surprises so far this year. But, yeah, I'm a little concerned. It's going to be a very tough game against this Ole Miss team, and you're always concerned about when a hometown kid comes back in town to play at home. Most times they're jacked up. They're very excited to be back home in front of fans and friends and family, and it's going to be tough. I hope you don't come in and show out, but they have a really good, solid team. This coach has been there for 2 years now, replaced Andy Kennedy 2 years ago, and they're still playing a very similar style. A.K. Andy Kennedy, who was there prior, was a guy that let the guards get off. A lot of things run through the guards, and this coach has seemed to play this very similar way. So it's going to be a tough night. A.J. Lawson, Trey Campbell, they're going to have their hands full on Tuesday night. But, again, we got to play good, solid defense, rebound, and eliminate turnovers, and I think we'll have a good chance of winning on Tuesday night.
Joe, Ole Miss has got games at home remaining with Tennessee and Kentucky. They'll also travel to Arkansas, and they've got Georgia and Missouri left on the schedule as well. So, even if the Gamecocks slip up at home against Ole Miss, you got to believe that there's a good chance that Tennessee or Kentucky or possibly both will beat Mississippi. But, again, both will be at home for the Rebels. So even if the Gamecocks fall to Ole Miss, there's a chance that Carolina could make up ground over the last 5 games and finish ahead of the Rebels. But the easiest way to do that is going to be to take care of business at home Tuesday night.
Absolutely. We, as a team, they cannot look at that, as we are breaking this game down. We can talk about it, but hopefully, it's only 3 weeks left, 3 weeks in the season, and we can just control our own destination by winning on Tuesday night, and whatever happens between Kentucky and Tennessee against Ole Miss, hey, let that happen. But we can win on Tuesday night, and I think I saw something where we have the easiest schedule as far as the last 3 weeks, which is favorable for us, that we don't went through the brunt of our schedule playing in Kentucky, they're playing in Tennessee twice within 2 weeks, and if we, right now, if we can keep winning and doing what we need to do, win the games we're capable of winning, with the remaining schedule, I think we'll be okay.
Ole Miss has been solid on the road this year. They won at Auburn, and they also won at Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs were ranked 14th in the country at that time. So Ole Miss will certainly be confident coming into the Colonial Life Arena on Tuesday night. The Rebels have won 4 straight, and they're trying to get in the tournament just like South Carolina. So SEC standings right now, Tennessee falling to Kentucky. Boy, the Wildcats looked good at home last night against Tennessee, and Tennessee and LSU tied for first at 11-1. Kentucky's 10-2, a game out, and South Carolina and Ole Miss are 8-4 in the conference, tied for fourth right now, and 2 games clear of 4 teams tied at 6-6: Auburn, Bama, Florida, and Mississippi State, all 6-6 in the league. So the winner, Carolina Ole Miss Tuesday night, will have sole possession of 4th place in the standings. And, Joe, basically they'll be 2 games clear of the loser Tuesday night because of the head-to-head win.
Yes, absolutely. We should take advantage of our opportunity playing at home. I encourage the Gamecock fans to come out and support on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. And you can tell the game with yesterday against Texas A&M, the crowd was so engaged, and they got these guys, once they started making shots, the crowd really got involved. And it's hard. As a former player, I know how that is, playing at home, and you got the crowd behind you, and you're comfortable, and you see the freshmen play better at home. It's hard sometimes. They're not used to the SEC conference yet, so they don't play as well at on the road. So, but at home, with the confidence and the crowd behind you, the freshmen and the young guys play a lot better. So, again, I encourage fans to come out on Tuesday night to support them and help us get to another victory and take the advantage of being in 4th place on Tuesday night.
The Gamecocks are leading the SEC in 3-point shooting percentage right now. That is a very surprising development. But, Joe, if there's one area that Frank Martin wants to see improvement, is particularly in these last couple of games, he's harped on the need for our offensive rebounding. Chris Silva, he has said repeatedly, is a one-man gang on the offensive glass for the Gamecocks. He said that that's not fair to Chris. The Gamecocks have got to do a better job on the offensive glass, and Coach Martin has talked about the need for Keyshawn Bryant to step back up. Bryant played so well most of the season, but the last couple of games, he's kind of pulled a disappearing act. Joe, 0 for 6 from the floor Saturday against A&M, and Coach Martin knows how important Keyshawn Bryant is to this ball club.
He hit a wall. A lot of freshmen do that. He's hit a wall, but hopefully he can fight through that. He's still getting the playing time, and Coach still have him out there. He's not sitting him down. He's giving us an opportunity. He just needs to settle down and do what he did earlier, just try to get to the basket and, get to the basket, get a couple layups, and get that confidence going. They'll be okay. But back to the rebounding, yes. Coach Star and Felipe Hasse, they are not rebounders, to be honest, and they have to be more aggressive to help Chris Silver. A lot of times Chris is helping the guards when guys are penetrating, and as he rotates, the other big guys are not rotating to help him out or get rebounds as he tries to block shots. But they have to, you don't have to be the most athletic guy. Just put a body on somebody, block these guys out, and just get up and get the rebound. And for us to continue to win, they have to step up and help Chris, and help this team just, get rebounds. We can't, Frank Martin's always been big on rebounding, and that's an advantage. We got to get easy baskets as well on offensive rebounds. So we can start rebounding better between Felipe Hasse and Mike Kotsar. I think this team can be a whole lot better.
All hands on deck for South Carolina against Ole Miss coming up Tuesday night, 7 o'clock at the CLA. And we hope you'll be there as well to support this Gamecock basketball team, now 13-12, and a surprising 8-4 in SEC play. Carolina and Ole Miss tied at 8-4 in the league, playing for fourth place in the standings coming up Tuesday night. For my man Joe Rhett, Gamecock great, I'm Emerson Phillips. Thanks for joining us for the Gamecock Central Podcast.